Hey everybody, welcome to today's panel. It's Awoke. Um, it is Friday, June 15th, around 8 a.m. I'm exhausted. I can hear it in my voice even more than normal. Was at Comics Mohegan Sun last night. Myself and Frank Regallo had Frank's Thirsty Thursday showcase he puts on and has me host for him once a month. And that show was at 10 o'clock. It got over around midnight and come back. Probably got home around 1 o'clock, 1:15. Slept for a little bit and wanted to get up and do this. Beautiful day. Looks like watch a fun show. Some comics. I see two comics I haven't seen in a long time. Oscar Colossus, I've known since I started doing comedy. Brian Glowacki, a very funny guy, really cool dude. I've always admired his hard work. It's cool to watch someone like that you've known for a long time. He's just been working his ass off. And I really admire his work ethic and everything that he does on stage. And then Matt Broussard, who I had never seen before, national headliner act. Unique style, uses at the end uses like a slideshow thing. It was fun to watch the show. And then we had our showcase for a bunch of younger comics, or say younger comics, but they're not young in nature. They're young as in comedy years. And it was a small crowd, and it was a weird weird crowd because they had to bring her. So the weird people on the stage had to bring their friends, and their friends are fucking weird. But we had a good time. Frank and I, we make that a fun thing. Once a month when we go out to eat. We get out there early. Um, it's a very fun husband and wife dynamic with me and a 76-year-old Frank Regallo. We get there. He goes off and gambles, and I go off and have a coffee and people watch. And then gamble in any way, shape, or form. If I had $2, believe me, I wouldn't be trying to make it to $3. I'd be squeezing it out of every moment out of that $2. But anyway, then we go and get something to eat, it's a nice day. It led into a good weekend. This should be a fun week. Father's Day, get to hang out with my kids like I normally do on a weekend, but have the whole weekend off. No comedy this weekend for myself. Um, so I get to hang out with them even more, not just during the day and have to run off to a show or anything like that. Really excited about that. As a wrestling fan, it's Money in the Bank on Sunday, which is a fun show where the wrestlers climb up and get a contract. You won't care if you're not a wrestling fan, but it's a fun event. I'm gonna watch it with my kids. It'll be fun, and watch it with my buddy Pete, and it'll be a good time to do all that stuff there. Comedy's been fun this week. I've been working recently, but do know me, and if you're watching this, of course you do. I've recorded an album. Good try. Find that everywhere. And I did an hour, 65 minutes of comedy on that, and have basically retired all those jokes so I can move on and continue and write new things and grow as a comic. And like I've said here before in the past, the writing is a very therapeutic thing for me. I've learned that when I first started doing comedy, it was more about doing crowd work and yelling out surprising things, just energy or attacking people and all that. And then because I think I was still angry on the inside, so therefore it came out outside. I wasn't having fun with the crowd. I was having fun at the expense of the crowd. People enjoyed it, but not they weren't enjoying it like they enjoy my act now, and I wasn't enjoying my act like I am now. But because of doing the new hour, doing that, I want to build a new hour. So I've been writing a lot and working out new stuff. And all this week, I've been going to mics and working on a new story. That something happened to me a long time ago, but I finally found a way to develop and make it work. And it got a nice payoff last night after finally finding proper punchline. To me, that's one of the wonderful things about comedy is taking an idea and then molding it, and crafting it, and changing it, editing, redoing, editing, polishing, and it just if you are a comic, you understand the process. Hopefully, you're doing that process. If you're a younger comic, you're not just trying to do a new joke every time or thinking because you thought of something, it's over. It's just begun. You continue working to make that story relatable and make sure that it connects and make sure that every point is clear and there isn't too much clutter and all this. And I was very happy and pleased with what I'm building of this new hour. The old hour is something that tells a story of me, about my kids and everything else. You check the album out. I'm very, very proud of what I did, but I'm not that person anymore. Or I like who I am as well. Yesterday, I went to a mic, and no, sorry, Wednesday, and I went to a mic and working on a joke, and I had a bit of a confrontation. It's the first time I've had a confrontation with someone in a while. I'm more positive. I'm trying more open to things. I try to pull back in moments, and if somebody tries to argue or someone comes in like ready to argue, whatever, I try to pull back and see both sides before I react. Sometimes, once in a while, even if I don't mean to start off in a confrontation, this voice in this head kind of just screams, "I'm ready to fight." You can't help that. People see me, they either my podcast is called Pat Out Just Sad. People think I'm bummed out. A lot of people think I'm angry. This is my happy face. I'm not angry or upset. I feel great. I think now that I lost weight, I think I look more. People think like right away because I used to be being bigger. I guess fatter means jollier. I guess because when you get fatter, your face stretches, whatever. But man, people always ask me if I'm upset, and I think people see my face right away and think that. Then they hear this gruffness, and then they're like, "Oh, you're ready to fight," and I'm not at all. Um, so I was going to go work on that show, and a person came up to me and I'm not going to say any names of the person or the thing, but if you were there, you know it. The owner of the establishment came over and kind of gave myself and some of the new comics some guff, if you will, and kind of right away just saying like, "Oh, you comics? You're going to perform this open mic? Well, you're welcome. I'm giving you this opportunity. I'm letting you perform it for free. And this is my establishment. And this place has had mics in the past, but there's new ownership. So the guy was, I guess, trying to let us know who he was, which to a guy doing an open mic at comedy. That's like if you went to a bar and went to go play darts or wanted to play the Pac-Man video game, and the owner went over and said, "Look at this. Look what I've created. You are now basking in my glow. Please enjoy. But look what I have done for you. I've got centipede for you." It's like, hey, dude, just fucking own your thing. You know what I mean? Be proud, but it was weird. The weird part was that he kept telling us that we needed to not only thank him but acknowledge him and go on social media and let people know what where we were, what was going on, and promote for him. And now I don't. If anyone knows me at all, I'm never shy of promotion. A lot of comics, most comics I know, when they go to an open mic, don't promote it. They promote the shows and that's it. I feel that because I'm doing comedy and I'm proud of what I'm doing, and it is the simple fact that I like people know where I am, what I'm doing. They can pop in, do whatever. I let everyone know I'm going. But I also think as somebody who used to run a comedy club, and somebody who used to run comedy shows and stuff like that, it's a good thing sometimes to let people know that things exist, not just for yourself, but for the comedy community and all that crap. So I'll always post something like, "Hey, working on a new bit down at so and so in so and town, whatever. Tonight, 9 o'clock, pop in, tell some jokes to folks, whatever, dumb shit." So I always do that. So but he was right away. You gotta do this, you gotta do that, whatever. Because I'm allowing you the opportunity. And I was just like, "You're allowing me? You're letting me? I came here performing at your place. I know it's just open mic, but we are free entertainment for your customers. I understand that's how open mics work, but don't make it feel like you're doing me a service. It is. I can sit here and go, but it's very nice of you to allow this." Allowing it. It's that you and the person running the mic made a business decision. Now, hopefully, this guy is paying the person running the open mic, because anyone out there running an open mic, any kind of show, if you're running anything and you're not getting money from a venue, you're disservicing the value of what we do. Even if it's an open mic, it's a value. This A venue is going to buy or sell alcohol. The bar is selling booze. The vendor doesn't go over and just give them booze and let them give it out and then hold them and throw them a couple of bucks. They buy the booze and then they distribute the booze in the way they see fit to make money and profit in their organization. They take the stuff in, they buy the food, they sell the food. So if you're going to give out entertainment, you must go in and say, "I am bringing you this entertainment. These people will come here, perform. Yes, it's open mic and anyone can perform, but it's something for your patrons to watch. Some people that like comedy may come to your venue who've never been to your venue before. Comedians such as myself will promote on social media and say the name of the venue and therefore on social media. So therefore people will know that your venue exists and they may not have before. And it's a way for you to have something fun, unique, and different at your shows. And therefore pay me money so I can do this every week and have to come here and set up and bring sound and and promote and get people so I can put this thing on. So you're not doing me a favor. That's not we and by thinking that you're doing us a favor, you're kind of downplaying what we do because most people can't do it. Most people can't just talk and be entertaining and take a thought and create it. And to put a disservice on that, so I didn't say all that to him, but I basically just said, dude, you can I don't have to go do your mic. I'm not saying, I'm not trying to act like I'm not grateful for whatever, but don't come up to me and tell me I ever do stuff. I said, fine. If you want me to promote your place, tell everyone to go here, let me send you my comedy schedule. And then you tell everyone where I perform. And you promote me. And he was like, that's not fair. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. Why should I have to do that? I'm like, why should I have to do this? I go, by the way, do you check your fucking Facebook? Because I probably am the only comic who promoted it. And he's like, oh, he's getting all my, and I'm like, yeah, just let it go. And then it ended. I went on stage. I worked on my new joke. It was open mic crowds are not. I mean, I hate to even say that. I don't want to go into a whole separate diatribe about open mics, but when you're a comic, open mic is not a crowd or an audience for a show. If you're an open micer who goes to a show and you work open mic and you work on material, and then you go to Facebook that night and go, I guess they don't get my jokes about this here, or I guess this crowd's uptight. You don't understand comedy yet, and you should not be talking about it on social media because you're hurting the venue. You're saying the place doesn't have a good crowd, but in reality, you're not understanding that it's batting practice. If you can't understand, if you're working on jokes consistently, you need an audience to tell you if the joke works, if the delivery is working, if your message is clear, then you're not getting comedy. You're not understanding how to do it yet. Maybe you need to watch more and stop typing comments about how great you are. You know what I mean? Because you go to open mic, it's about, I go knowing that the audience at an open mic is not the audience I'm working towards. The audience that's going to be at a comedy club I'm at that weekend is not the same people at an open mic. Open mic people are there because it's cheap. It's during the week. Drink specials. They're animals. They just going out to a bar and they happen to be listening to some shit. On a weekend, people are there invested, so it's a different. You're working to a different animal. So sometimes if you get open mic people to laugh all the time and you can't get listening audiences, you should know you're doing comedy wrong. That being said, I went up and did my thing, and the story worked really well. It's got a little compaction to it, pulls the heartstrings a little bit, and gets you to laugh throughout. And I got everyone to listen, do that. And afterwards, the owner came over and said, "Hey man, I didn't realize you were funny. Never mind, man. We have no problems no more." And hugged me, and it's just like that was weird because I felt like, and the little anger kicked in my head again. Like, so is this guy now? I've now justified myself. I'm now okay and got the respect of this person who, for no reason, wanted to just boast and brag. But I pulled myself back and said, okay, well, this guy, I'm here defending my craft, my art, and he's defending what he does. And it's I tell that story for one reason. And I mean, everything worked out. It's fine, whatever. I don't care. I didn't do well. It wasn't about that. I wrote an article this week on Laugh Staff. So if you haven't read it, a lot of people have, and the outpouring on that, the overwhelming. Thank you for everyone that's read it and said it's really helped them out. I wrote an article this week about that mentality. The mentality of having to believe in yourself and your creativity. And that's what makes a comic good. Knowing that comedians, artists, work with creative minds. That mind is always going. I'm thinking of new jokes, new things like all of the nature all the time. And that's a wonderful thing for comedy. It's not a wonderful thing for the rest of your life. In the light of what happened with Anthony Bourdain, I did not mention him in the article, but it's something that hit home with me because I am such a fan of who he was and what he did, and Robin Williams, and what happened with him. And in general, a lot of creatives, their mind is always working, and not just in the fun way of writing or doing jokes or performing music or dancing or things of that nature or art. It's also always working in the other ways. Like, how come nobody loves me? Does anyone love me? Do people need me? Is my life, am I doing enough? Is everything I'm doing, if the people only like me because I'm of me on stage, do they not like me as a person? How come I'm not on this thing and I'm only on this thing? How come I'm not getting this gig, but I'm not getting this gig, and that person's getting that gig? And your mind just keeps going. And it's easy for people to say, who aren't creatives, to say, just don't think about it. That's something we aren't capable of. It's almost impossible to turn off the thing that makes us a good comic, the thing that lets me look at a subject and overanalyze it and beat it up to the point where it's like, you know, like I'm watching Matt Broussard, like I said last night, and he does a big chunk on medical conditions and where they came from, and medicines that they work on it, and what thing it was supposed to do first, the medicine, and then maybe it was supposed to help one thing, but they found the side effect was the thing it actually cured. And it was a very smart bit, but it take someone looking at all those things and then putting the twist on, well, maybe the side effect became the reason for the pill, and vice versa. It's a flip. It's somebody who's looking at something and analyzing it and breaking it down. Yes, that is obviously, if you're a comic watching this, you're like, yeah, that's what we do. But we also do that with everything else. Just looking at a bill you have to pay and going, "Well, I'm struggling this week, man. I have no money. Like two gigs got canceled. How I pay this thing, and I can't pay this bill." It doesn't end just with I can't pay this bill. It's like, well, why can't I pay this bill? Did I make the wrong decisions in life? Did I do this thing? And your mind just starts to go and over analyze this thing to the point where the stress hurts. It brings you down, and you start to not believe in yourself. Now, the hard thing about it is, then I go on stage that night to do my job, and I'm fun, jovial, and bringing joy to people and laughing, and everyone's like, and so people are like, if they hear like, oh, I'm down or I have depression, they're like, well, what are you depressed about? You were having so much fun last night. It's like, it's one, just because of one thing doesn't mean the other one. So the article really gets into the thought and idea of why so many people, and I'm speaking more of comedy because I know, but just in general, why it's so easy for us to talk about one thing. I can talk on stage about my stresses, my issues. Um, so many comics can talk about sex and like awkward things and taboo things and crazy things, but can't on their own talk about their own feelings and anxieties and worries to other people. And when they don't, then it just rents space in their head, and that creative mind becomes like a poisonous factory where it just keeps producing more horrible, haunting things to the point where you can't handle it. And unfortunately, it can result in people thinking they're not worthy of being around. And most times, it's not going to lead into something as tragic as a life ending, but it can lead into a lot of anger and negativity that broods in, and then it can hurt. Negativity destroys creativity. And it really hurts. So by not being able to speak, so a couple of years ago when I started really taking a step back, 2 years ago I probably would have been, or 3 or 4 years ago, that bar owner guy, and I would have, for no reason, I would have been in his face. And now I know to step back and go, it's just two people with points of view that are just passing. He's got his own thing, and if he's angry, he's got all these stresses. He owns this thing, whatever. I don't need his shrapnel can hit me, but I don't have to take it in. He's not going to rent space up here. I need to take a step back and go, okay, I'm just here working on me, doing what I need to do. And I do that with every situation now. I try not to get angry or upset. Now, am I still stressed about things? Of course. Those things don't go away. I can sit here and talk wax philosophical about how, and say none of these things matter and they're just little things, but life will be okay. But at the end of the day, I'm like, fuck, I'm broke, I'm poor, I don't know what to do. And I need more gigs, I need more work, I need to constantly be working to get money just to put food on the table, when my kids are around or whatever. But I can't let it eat me up and hurt me inside. I need to keep my mind fresh and happy because I'm only going to be here for so long and I want to enjoy the few people I'm around and things like that. And the article really talks about that, about talking. And even if I'm just doing this and two fucking people look at it, whatever, and people are like, what is he just rambling about? Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I think my rambling for me is a good way for me to start off every morning. I'm somebody who was told to shut up a lot, child. I think that's clear to people that know me. They do talk a lot. And I give off a vibe of someone who doesn't like people. So it's a weird combination of someone who seems like they're unapproachable, but doesn't shut the fuck up. Talking, writing, creating, all that stuff. If I don't do that for a long time in my life when I wasn't a comic or a writer or anything like that, it just sat in here. And man, was I miserable. And man, did I feel like I had no one to talk to. And man, did I feel like that just a lot of times just, man, what am I even doing here? I never got to that level there like that, but you did think it, and it's just, I know there's a lot of people like that. So when I wrote this article, people really reached out. I got a lot of emails and messages like, thank you. This was an important thing. It's a thing that it's good to know other people feel that way. I think that's the hardest part sometimes is that we all feel like we're just the only one. Everyone else has it great. We're seeing another comic get these gigs and do these things. And then we're like, oh man, they're living the dream. I know there's comics out there who say to me, Pat, you got these gigs and you're doing this thing and that thing, whatever. Man, I wish I had all your stuff. And I'm like, why would you ever wish to be this? Ugh. Like, I'm dying. My struggle is constant. This starving artist thing is for real, for show. But it's crazy. But no, now I realize, appreciate it. A, don't worry about what other people are doing. B, appreciate what I am doing and what I am allowed to do. And at the end of the day, I'm enjoying creating. I'm enjoying that. Just take a breath, not be upset. Everything's going to be good. And I don't know any alternatives to life. So I can't go do it because I don't know any better. If someone dies and comes back and says, that's the shit, then maybe you two all try it out. But check out that article on the Last Staff. It really does help talk about mental health and stuff like that. And for people that battle that in any way, you can check it out. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a lot more. I have a couple projects I got to work on this weekend. So I won't be doing any comedy this weekend, but I got a lot of stuff I got to work on. Next week, Wednesday, I'll be at and it's an old line. Go to my paddles.com and see the schedule. I forget the name of it. It's a place that they serve lobster and stuff like that. And it's myself, Beecher, and Ryan Brown comedy show there. Thursday, I'm back at Comics Mohegan Sun again. I'm there a lot this month. This Thursday, I'm there, and then the last weekend of the month, Wednesday through Sunday, I'm there, staying at the hotel and performing on all the shows there that weekend. That'll be cool. Monday, every Monday open mic in Stanford, working on some new material. Please come out, support comedy, and check out the places. Rascal Flats is the open mic on Monday. Go to padots.com for that, for my articles, for my for everything I do, for the podcast. You can see the link there. The Padots is Awoke is not on there yet. This is going to be a work in progress. I'm not really, besides the few people that stare and look at this, until when I did the podcast, we didn't put it up as its own thing. Brandon Smith, when we were putting it together, he has a thing called Comedy LOL that we're now turning into a comedy network, which we're proud that's going to be, and have a bunch of great podcasts on it coming up soon. But when Pados is Sad started, I didn't know what I was doing to the podcast. Not that I'm saying that I know now, but I didn't understand the structure or how it would work or what my role was going to be. Was I going to be an interviewer? Was I going to be someone that just spoke? Was it going to be funny? Was it going to be this, that? I didn't know. So the first 50 episodes, we kept it under the umbrella of Comedy LOL and put it on iTunes through that. And then once you get to 50 episodes, we built its own separate page and thing so it can be Pados is Sad because I now knew what I was doing and now we're proud of putting it out so people can search it, find it. This vehicle here is really being built so I can learn to speak daily because I would love to do the podcast daily. And I know I'm probably never going to get serious amounts of money or whatever. I mean, or things like that nature to do it, but it's just something that I love to do, and people seem to enjoy the podcast, so I want to work on it. That's what I'm trying to do here. I mean, the video thing, I'm sure staring at just someone's head in it with their back door open in a kitchen isn't exciting, but it's a work in progress to build. So eventually, this is going to be going to a different platform to get people to hear it more, and then you add it, and we're also learning how to use the video component because Pounds is sad. I want to do more video as well because people seem to want to watch podcasts now, which is not something I do. I listen when I'm done with you guys right now. I'm gonna go off to the gym and then go for I've been doing like running about 3.5 to 4 miles every day now. Feeling great about that. Weight loss at 55 pounds, by the way. So fuck you. I'm feeling great. And I'll be listening. I run and do that to a lot of podcasts. I just love listening to other people's thoughts and ideas, not just comedy ones, all kinds of stuff. A lot of wrestling ones, but it's what I'm enjoying. And I enjoy doing this. So for the 2 or 3 people that watch it, hopefully down the road it becomes more than that. I'm not understanding the live part yet. Haven't had any interactions with anybody yet. It would be great if people start writing back and forth. I'm good with that, having a chat. But if not, people watching and checking it out, it's more about making the awareness and me getting used to doing this. But we'll be doing a new one on Monday. So about 8 o'clock a.m. again. So you're coming to Comedy LOL and LOL podcast on YouTube and subscribe and click the little bell. It will tell you when it's coming on. You can come here and you can interact and do whatever. But if not, guys, have a wonderful Father's Day weekend, wonderful Money in the Bank weekend. Go get the album. Pat Oates is sad. I mean, fuck, that's the podcast. Go check that out. The new episode, Pat Oates is sad, is on iTunes this week with Pete Angelo and Pat Ariola. Great episode. But go get the album. Good try. Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, Apple Music, CD Baby, Google Play. It's everywhere. Go check it out. Give it a listen. Go on iTunes and give me a review and 5 stars. That would be fucking awesome. It helps move it up. That and the podcast. If you search my name, Pat Oates, and you find things, give it 5 stars. Put good reviews. Push things. Pay it forward. You know what I mean? Pat it forward. There you go. Besides that, thank you guys for watching. Have a great weekend. Talk to you on Monday.